Let us pray. Our Father, who broadcasts in New York, hallowed be thy name. The King of all media, Baba Booey be done on earth and across the airwaves. Give us a hey now and Robin's News. And forgive us for our bad phone connection and boring calls, as we just want to be part of the show. And lead us into the future and deliver us from the FCC. For Howard is the king, with the power and the ratings, now and forever. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Podcasts are bullshit.
And here we are. We're here.
Hey now.
Hey.
We are here.
Hey, we are we're just experiencing some difficulties as usual because we have to.
I wouldn't want a BM talk without it.
Right. So
it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have something go wrong.
I know something has to go wrong in order for it to be a good show. So
Absolutely.
So I have started watching The Designated Survivor on Netflix. I don't know. It was a CBS show or something, NBC show, something like that. But then Netflix, I guess, picked up the series and then came out with a new season of it or what have you. So I started watching it and just seeing how they've dealt with everything that's going on with the pandemic. If that situation, I don't know if you know what the situation is. You know, there's a designated survivor. No. Do you? So you don't know about designated survivor, for the president or anything like that? Okay, so there's a line of succession that. Okay, so if the president dies, the vice president becomes president. If the vice president dies, the Speaker of the House becomes president. So when they hold, let's say, a national, an address, when they hold the State of the Union address, and everybody is all in the one building, okay?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna put my headphones on because you're coming out of my speakers, so I don't want you to have the echo.
Oh, right.
That we had the last time. So
right.
All right, go ahead. I got you.
So, like the State of the Union, they pick somebody that is a designated survivor. God forbid that something happens and everyone dies.
Okay.
The designated survivor becomes the president. So that's how that works. And that is pretty much what the show's about. Now,
wait a minute. So out of the government.
Yes, out of the government.
You're saying they all die and whoever survives out of whatever, then they're...
They pick a specific person that is not at the event, that is with Secret Service people in a bunker somewhere. So if something happens, they rush him in and swear him in and all that shit, and he becomes president. So that's pretty much what this show is dealing with. And it's so funny because I just see how they've dealt with just the pandemic situation of what's going on. If something like that ever happened, our government is not ready for something like that. They are not ready.
Our government ain't ready for anything.
Right. They are. Well, that's what I'm saying. The government would never be ready for anything like that. Because they don't know how to handle anything.
Right, and you think that they would be, and that they should be. I mean, all jokes aside, with a zombie apocalypse, like when we had a few years ago, or I don't know how long ago, when we had the big zombie rage, like I think, once The Walking Dead took off and there was this big zombie rage shows and zombie apocalypses, like the CDC actually came out with a plan, or somewhat of a plan, for a zombie apocalypse, and like a scenario. Well, if this actually did happen, they had something. But I mean, I don't know the extent of what they put into it, but
Yeah,
they wouldn't be ready for anything like that.
Like I said last time when my dad worked for George Bush, with HUD, with Housing and Urban Development, they were trying to prepare for if a pandemic happened, where if terrorists used a virus against us, okay, they weren't ready then, and we're talking right after 9/11. They were not prepared then. So anybody that's blaming the current administration like completely for it, it's not technically all their fault. It's everybody's fault because it just carries over and carries over and carries over, and they just don't put focus onto the right things. They're worried about giving tax cuts to rich companies, and they're not worried about funding a division of our government that actually helps.
Right. Well, absolutely. The whole night, like you bring up the 9/11 thing, we weren't prepared for it, and we knew it was going to happen. It wasn't like a surprise. From what I understand, anyway, like they got the threat letters, they got the threats that it was going to happen. So instead of preparing for it, like taking it seriously, it happened, and then they're holy shit, we weren't prepared. No, well, you should have been prepared because you knew about it. It wasn't like
you have two of the tallest buildings in a huge city, like a well-known city. Duh, that's a city that target.
Right, a city that is going to be a point of attack.
Right, New York, California. That's how I look at something like that. New York, California,
absolutely.
Two of the biggest fucking places in the country. They're the
Pearl
entertainment.
Harbor.
Right.
Right off the California coast.
Right.
That was something I understand not being ready for because that was a surprise attack, Pearl Harbor. But 9/11, you had the warnings, you had the threats, you didn't do anything. Right. And look what happened. They might have been able to prevent that. Who knows?
They very well could have probably prevented that. Dude, it's so fucked up. That's why. Like I commented on the thing that you said, that why don't people talk about all the people that have survived instead of the people that have died? And yes, that's true. But they overwhelm hospitals and actual service things for people that need it, for people that could be dying, because you're telling everybody, oh, well, it's fine, just go out and act normal. They're trying to stop it. They're trying to stop the spread of it.
I get that, but they're doing it with... I get it to a point, but I think a lot of it, again, my own opinion, coming from nowhere, but the little information that I get and my own, thing, just my opinion is they're trying to you can't control people without fear. And I think because they're not prepared for it, they're not handling it the right way. The media is blowing it up to make people think that if you step outside, you're going to get sick and you're going to die. Not everybody has that mentality, but some people, they think that nobody should be outside at all. You should have already went to the store and got your stuff, and now you got to stay home for 2 weeks or a month, or you can't go outside. You're going to go outside, you're going to die. That's not the case. And the news forever, that's all they report on is bad, depressing, fear things.
Well, that is all they ever talk about.
You never hear, like, I think that would be something you should put out there.
If you want to know
in all of this fear, to say, hey, listen, we have, there's this many confirmed cases and this and that, but there's also, but they're not going to do that because you're not going to keep the people afraid.
Right. Well, and guess what? Happy, fun shit, don't sell advertising.
Right. No, absolutely.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is, and it's fucked up. I'd like to start a network or a channel or something where you just kind of report like you don't have a political agenda. You report on good things that happen instead of all the shootings from cops or something, and they spin
Right.
stories and shit like that. Maybe you can show the good cop that brings the kid from a poor home out shopping, or
Right.
something like that, and just like
Well,
kind of still make people make people like that stuff again.
that doesn't bring in ratings though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But see, and that's my problem. Like we've talked about this on past shows. That's my problem with the media in this country, and the blessing, but yet also the curse of having a free press and free media. Although
Right.
it has gotten worse over the years. Like I'm pretty sure when our parents, I won't even go back to our grandparents. When our parents back in the 50s, when they had the fucking guy on the news was not giving you his, or he was delivering the news to you. He wasn't giving his personal agenda or his personal feelings toward it.
Right.
Like, did I tell you when I was watching CNN about the jerk off that was there, or I was watching Fox News?
Oh, you can't watch Fox News. They're horrible.
But did I
They're
tell you about the jerk off on there who was giving his personal feelings about things?
Oh no,
Like,
no.
okay, so it was last week sometime. I got caught up in it, so I'm like, all right, let me put the fucking something on, see what's going on. So I subscribe to Sling. We got a lot of different news channels on there,
Oh,
but
right.
with the virus thing, they're starting to add a couple other like network newses and different things that I don't normally have in my subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them was Fox News. I just put it on because it happened to have been a new show, and I'm like, all right. I always hear the name Fox News, so let me put it on and see what they're talking about, and then I'll go to another news and see what they're broadcasting because you get contradicting news.
Right.
So it was around the time the spring breakers were on the beach in Miami or something. This old cocksucker, I don't know his name. I should have remembered it, or no, maybe he's a big guy on Fox News that people know. He's the old guy with the glasses. I don't know what his name is, but here's what he said to his guest. So you got the spring breakers down over in Miami. How do we get these knuckleheads off the beach and get them to follow what the rules and what they're supposed to be doing so they can stop this spread? Okay. Why do you need to call them knuckleheads? If that's how you feel, that's great, but how about doing it like this? So spring breakers are on the beach. They're crowding the beaches in Miami in this whole coronavirus scare and epidemic.
Yeah.
My guest right now is so-and-so. So how do we get the message out to these spring breakers that they can't be in crowds and we got to get them to social distance? And how do we get the word to them so they can follow along? No, it was his opinion. It wasn't like that. It was.
Do you know
and
what
I'm like,
here's what would be funny too, because I think if I were on something like that and they asked how do you get young people to do that, well, the White House needs to try and work with social media influencers on
yes.
Instagram and stuff like that, to where they can come out and say, you know what, guys, this really is bad. We could potentially be killing our parents. That's
right.
That's what it comes down to.
But what happens is
they turn it into right.
They send the police down there. Now we're talking about this generation of kids who think that they're entitled to everything.
Fuck the police. Yeah,
fuck the police.
Yeah.
I am, I have a right to be, the spoiled generation.
Right.
What is it? Somebody called it the pussification of America. So we have this generation on the beach. Now you're going to send the police down there, and now they're going to, and then now it's all over social media. Oh,
right.
My rights are being taken away. I can't go to the beach. Blah blah blah. Well, no, you shouldn't. You can't.
Yeah, you should not be in a crowd.
You think I enjoy being in my fucking house all the time and just leaving when I have to, or
Right.
just being able to go outside. No, I want to go to the restaurant, go
Right.
out to eat, sit down, have a meal. I don't want to, but it's what you have to do right now.
Right. Dude, what
You
about the
know?
kids that are going to graduate from high school? You know, if
I
this
know that's.
continues, that's going to suck for them. You know,
I don't
like,
know how they're going to do that, because I heard that some schools, like down in the South, that get out in May, have
mhm.
already closed for the year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said that, I forgot, maybe I was talking to Chris or somebody I was talking to, and I said, think about this. You're a senior in high school this year.
Right.
This thing hits, you're stuck home, schools are
Senior
closed.
ball.
You,
Senior ball.
right, you don't have your prom now. You
Right.
don't have whatever testing you got to take to graduate, testing to get into college.
Right.
You know, the SATs and all that. Like, what do you do? Do you go through when we start going back to normal and coming out of our house? Do you go to school over the summer? Do you, when school in September, do you go back? Is everything okay? Well, we're going to stop, because they're only missing a few months. So
I know.
when school starts up in September, do we just go back and you repeat the whole year?
I know, that's
Or
horrible.
what
It's
do you do? Do you
horrible.
just?
I know.
I'm so glad I'm out of school.
It's completely, do you know what? It's completely unprecedented. It has never
Right.
happened. This has never happened. People
Now,
are going to hear about that shit in history books.
right.
When we're dead.
I'm going to put this out there, because I was talking to Chris and I had told him, you know, I think they're taking extreme measures with this thing. And what I would do if I was in charge, like, I get the whole, like, I'm not, it's not that I'm like, I believe there's a virus out there that you can get sick from.
Right.
Okay. I don't think the quarantine, it's a good idea, but they're doing it wrong, or in my opinion. I better keep saying that before people, they're going to get the wrong idea about what I'm saying. In my opinion. Okay. And I say that because, again, if I was in charge, here's what I would do. We'll start with New Rochelle, New York. Okay. You have a whole bunch of people that got sick there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's quarantine New Rochelle. Nobody in, nobody out. Like Negan, we're going to shut that shit down.
Right. And you can use the National Guard.
Right.
Literally. I mean, that's what it's for.
You can reroute trucks if there's the main roads that go through, but New Rochelle's got this many cases, confirmed cases. You shut that shit down. Nobody in, nobody out. I don't care.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, 2 counties over.
That's a great meme. Cuomo's head on Negan's body.
Shut that shit down. So now, a couple counties. Now, I know New Rochelle is not a couple counties over from us, but I don't know all the counties. But say Oneida County was. So a couple counties over sits Oneida County. Yeah. We have 0 confirmed cases. Oneida County operates as normal.
Right.
Maybe, okay, we have 1 or 2 cases in Oneida County. Now, Oneida County operates as normal. We contain the 2 cases and wait and see. If it starts spreading more, then we shut that shit down in Oneida County, nobody in or out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? The highly populated areas, New York City, and New York City, Los Angeles, the highly populated cities, they're going to obviously get higher numbers because of the close proximities people live in. Right off the bat, you're going to have high numbers there. You shut that shit down, nobody in or out. But the trucks, to get them supplies to what they need. And when you do bring the trucks in, you spray them down, like you have an area set up, like, because you have blockades. If you have cops at the blockades or something, and then you're going to get, we don't have enough cops. You know what? Instead of signing a $1 trillion stimulus package, if we have that money, let's hire some cops to get down there. You only need 1 near a barricade. So you barricade off, where you go into New York City. So
Bro.
a Walmart truck is coming in.
We got the military. Motherfuckers don't need police.
And the military.
Right.
Right.
We have the military at our disposal. That's what the military is for. And they don't have to be dicks. You act like how they acted with Katrina, the military. When they got down there, they were fucking helping people. Our military, I could just see our military down there with either gas masks or surgical masks or something helping people. That's what they are there for.
Like I said, the big trucks, the big Walmart trucks going down to stock up. Okay, you pull it to the side, you spray it down, whatever you got to do. You get it in, they unload their thing, you spray it down to clean it again. Right. They leave, go back to Walmart. Right. And that's what instead of, like I said, the extreme thing of shutting everything down, spreading the fear of people into people, so they're freaked out. You can do it. You can contain it little by little. Now you have little pockets of containment of people. The areas that aren't going to get infected are acting as normal. People still have their jobs.
Here's what you're talking about, though. You're talking about a plan. They did not have a plan. You're talking about a plan. I mean, that's a legitimate plan. That's not like taking plastic and turning it into like a bubble for people. take all the plastic bottles, make a containment area for people. But it's
But I don't even need this epidemic. Like it happened, and that's what I thought of. Like it wasn't.
Bro,
I was sitting around thinking about it for a long. Like, geez, what would I do?
They knew about this in January. So it's called
3 months
planning.
Later, they're right.
But guess what? That's why the president talks out of both sides of his mouth, and it's bad. That's why it's bad.
It is. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what? To a point, I do understand his
set people's minds at ease.
No, I understand his animosity toward the press in a way.
Right.
Because I watched one of his press conferences, and but again though, as a president, you can't be coming out and saying, "Oh, you're fake news, and I don't like you. You're okay. You print lies." You can't. You think every president like the press? No, but you can't come out and say it. That's not the game you play.
Dude, didn't the press write shit about JFK and Marilyn Monroe in the newspaper?
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. At the time when she was supposedly dating Joe DiMaggio.
Right. But you know what? It is also this is literally a brand new era for a presidency because it's never been as social as it has been. That's why you can't listen, if social media was this big when Obama was president, he would be getting shit from both sides.
Absolutely.
People would be arguing the way that they're arguing right now. Oh no, he's bringing change. He's doing this. No, he's not. He did this, and that. That's how it would be.
Right. And that's what happened when Trump got elected. That splits again. It split the country.
Right.
And with the social media and everything, you got the people that are for him, against him, the people that just hate. No matter, this guy could go out and bring, like Jesus, he could bring the dead back to life, and it will not be good enough for. So there's like whatever.
Right.
The devil made him, But
look, I'm going with my friend Jesus. I'm going with my friend Jesus. We're going.
I made the blind see.
Yeah. But his mouth looks like a butthole.
he's stuck in what is that? Duck face. Yeah.
Well, and then look at his neck when you get a chance. It looks like a vagina, right?
Does it really?
Yeah. It looks like a vagina. You got to look at his neck. Vagina neck.
But to go back to what I was saying, the press conference that I seen him in, one of the press said something to him. I don't remember the question, but it was about closing the borders. And he made it a point to say, when we first found out, he said, I did that. I closed the border, or I closed the talks and the borders off to China. When we first found out about this, I was
And
the
he
first
did
one to
not.
do that. And you guys know that, and you don't want to admit to this, that, whatever. And I was like, now again, I don't know, whatever, I'm going by what he said. And I'm like, well, if he did, yeah. But they're not going to print that because you've told them you don't like them and they're fake news. So,
Yeah.
But also, the first thing he said when he came out to his press conference, and I was like, wow, this guy really is a fucking douchebag. First thing he said when he walked out, I think it was right after the social distancing thing came out, because the press was separated a little bit and there wasn't as many in the room.
Yeah.
Of course, first thing out of his mouth, he made a comment about how, I like this. Everybody's sitting apart and they're separated. Maybe we could actually get away with getting rid of a few more of you. And actually, I think you should be sitting a little bit further apart. I'm not sure you're within the means of how you're supposed to be sitting. But anyways, and I'm like, jerk off.
Yeah. Dude,
again, like the news giving their opinion. Nobody gives a fuck. Who cares? We already know you hate the news and the press and whatever.
Do you know what
now
I
you're
would
breaking their balls?
Do you know what I would do if I had a press pass and I had to deal with this? I would just be like, whatever calls on me. What the fuck is going on? They would not know what to do. They wouldn't know what to do.
Oh, could you be more specific? There's an epidemic going on, Mr. Cardillo, from the handicapped press.
From the handicapped press. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You understand what's going on? That's a stupid question. Next question, please.
That's question,
a very terrible Trump, but
yes,
you get the idea.
But that's okay. That is all right.
And then I watched again to against the press, and I don't mean to really be hard on the press too bad, but they're a bunch of fucking jerk offs. So I'm watching a Cuomo press conference.
Yep.
And it was back when everything got shut down at 8:00. So like the gyms got shut down at 8:00. This got shut. Everything tonight is being shut down at 8:00.
Right.
So he finishes his conference. News lady asks him, "Do you know Mayor De Blasio was at the gym this afternoon or this morning? Does he not know about the shutdown?" And he goes, "Well, Mayor De Blasio can be at the gym this morning. You can be at the gym this afternoon, as long as you're not at the gym after 8:00 tonight."
Right.
And then her follow-up question was, "Do you go to the gym?" And he was like, obviously he don't go because he didn't, but he was like, no, I have my own kind of routine and stuff that I go through. Like that's what you're going to, he just gave a press conference about this epidemic and how things are shutting down.
And to tell you the truth, he's stepping up to the plate.
Oh, absolutely. You want to try and throw De Blasio under the bus to the governor that, he was at the gym. You closed it. He's not doing what he's supposed to do, which you failed in that. And then you're going to ask him what his gym routine is. That's what you took out of this press conference is, well, what's your gym routine? Are you going to be at the gym after 8:00? Like, what the fuck is with the I was just like, wow. And then I kind of was like, I think I understand why Trump has his view of certain people in the press that he does, because they're fucking retarded.
Right, but you know what? He is too. So think about two retards going at each other.
That's exactly right.
That's really what it is. There is nothing.
I used to be able to turn into Howard Stern. Tune into Howard to watch, the Whack Pack, Wendy and Gary the retard would argue back and forth about dumb shit. Now you can just turn it on CNN and watch the press and fucking Trump do it.
Right, and it's bad.
Howard should sue the press and the government for copyright infringement because he was the first one to have Whack Packers argue.
Yeah. I know.
And then I was talking to Kim today when I dropped the kids off, and we were talking about the hand sanitizer thing.
Yeah.
everybody's going crazy, and I'm like, well, 30 years ago, those people had OCD that washed their hands all the time. Now we're doing it as normal. I'm like, and I told her, because she was like, oh, you make sure you're making the kids do that. I'm like, yes, but I'm not using hand sanitizer. I got the soap.
Yeah, you're
Squirt
using soap.
And
Right.
we're using soap because I said to her, I'm like, these hand sanitizer things. I said, and watch for I'm going to make another prediction that watch for it to come out. Hand sanitizer is
Yeah.
very alcohol based.
Right.
All right. So now during this, people are washing their hands probably more so than they ever have before.
Yes.
That alcohol is going to dry out your skin and cause problems in the long term. So I'm just waiting for the commercial to come on TV, like the mesothelioma one, and the court case.
Have you used Purell hand sanitizer?
Yeah,
You may
call
be
this
part of
800
a
number.
class action lawsuit.
Absolutely. And I told her, I'm like, you know what they should do? Not just sue Purell or Purex or whatever. Sue the fucking medias for hyping it up to make you wash your hands this much.
I know.
As well, make the not the government, but yeah, the government, the media, and the hand sanitizer place, make them pay for all that shit. Because
it's actually kind of pathetic, because if you just wash your hands like normal, there wouldn't be we wouldn't have to worry about shit like this. But it just shows we're all a dirty people.
Oh my God, yes. Chris told me, because when he goes to visit his grandmother, he told me the process that he goes through when he's got to visit her.
Why would you visit?
It's not. Well, no, because he's to bring her, because she don't get out.
Oh right, so he brings her food or what have you. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny because a month ago he wasn't doing this. But now, because of the scare and the pandemic that's going around, every step that he takes, he's wiping something down. Like the door to get into the building, he wipes the handle down. He's got white, and then in the second door, he's wiping that down. The buttons to push on the elevator, he's wiping that down. Then when he gets to his grandmother's house, he wipes the knob down, and he's wiping this down. And his steering wheel to his car, and and I'm like,
he's better off wearing gloves and taking them off.
Right. I told him, I'm like, you think about it, a month ago you weren't doing all that.
Right.
That's how life is. And I said, now what's going to happen after this whole thing is over, or it starts to become over? Are we all going to have this OCD of wiping stuff down? Probably not.
No, but we're going to start to see more people wearing masks. It's going to be like China or Japan or whatever.
Masks, gloves.
Yeah, we're going to get custom masks made.
Yep.
BM Talk masks. Did you see how I put the masks on her faces?
I did. That was fucking amazing. I love that. When I see that, I was like, well, that's fucking great.
Right. I'm like, yes, I got to do something like that.
If the fucking stores weren't out of them, I would do a show in a mask. But
Right.
I was thinking about just doing it in like a Halloween mask.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what.
But then I would sound like this, and then you wouldn't understand what I was talking about.
I'll tell you what. Do you know what's funny? I wanted to buy one of those plague masks. The fucking the plague doctor mask.
Yeah, yes.
Right? But I can't buy one because they're made in China and they ship from China. So why would I buy something like that from China that could potentially be infected?
That's the other thing I posted on Facebook. I'm like, all right, enough with the fucking China already.
Oh.
Enough with anything outsourcing. I don't understand. This great country that we live in, we can't fucking do this shit ourselves?
No, because it's not cost effective. There's certain things that you can't get in this country. I've talked about this before. Now, steel and things like that, that kind of shit should be made in the U.S.
Right. What are we getting from China that we can't do here?
iPhone parts and shit like that. There's only certain places you can get the parts that they manufacture, like the things that go into the parts.
Why do they make them over there?
Yes.
So why don't we make?
And
Like I said,
labor is cheaper. So they
I,
care about their
I don't want.
bottom line. Think
Yeah, well, I
about
don't
it.
want to hear about cheaper labor.
Yeah, think about it.
You know,
They think
fuck
about their
that.
bottom line.
If you can figure out where to get whatever that is, $6 trillion stimulus, if you can figure out where to get that money to give everybody who's out of work, you can figure out where to get money to build someplace in America, bring some of those Chinese people. Like I said this when I did my solo BM. You know, I said about blowing up one of those backward states, but then your brother suggested California, and I'm like, yeah, I hate California. Let's level that fucking state, call it fucking New China, and bring in some of those people and set up, and everything they do over there they can do in California now. And then we don't have to outsource over there. We could just do it right at the other end of the country.
Oh my God.
I was like, you know, you test the people, check them before they come over. You don't just let any fucking nudnik in. But
okay.
You know, you do whatever medical checks you got, and I'm talking not one of these stupid medical checks that they give you, you know, that they used to give you at Ellis. I'm talking a fucking cavity search. Everything.
Yeah, you CAT scan, the whole deal.
You give them fucking people a good once over. You make sure they don't have fucking nothing.
I mean, like, I get it. I get it. We're a melting pot, but there's certain things that need to be tightened in this melting pot. Maybe we need to take care of. Maybe we need to take care of what's in the pot right now before we can let things melt in.
Right.
You know, maybe we need to figure out what's going on with the pot. That's the problem. Mark, nobody, and I mean nobody, can get on the same page of anything. That's why it's all fucking partisan bullshit. Nobody is bipartisan. Me and you might not agree on this or that, but it's like we need to come together and figure out what we can do to make the best of it.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work. Like, I don't think our forefathers had this in mind when, you know, when they freed us from fucking England and taxes and all that shit. Like, I don't think they had this in mind for our future 200 years later, that we would have a corrupt government.
Right.
You know, reality stars would be running the fucking country.
The government is ran by the NRA, by like all the drug companies, all the fucking pharmaceutical companies, shit like that. And here's what I found out. Fucking, you know, Bayer, the company Bayer that makes like aspirin and all kinds of medicines. They were they were one of the companies responsible for Agent Orange and shit like that, because they also make things that are like carcinogenic. So then it's like, oh, we'll make something that's this and that, and it fucks you up. And yeah, then we'll make a pill for it that makes you better.
Right. Well, where do you think the government goes when they need some kind of chemical warfare or something like that?
They're gonna go
to the pharmaceuticals,
right?
And they say, hey, we need this to fight our enemy, but if any of our guys get it, we also need a remedy for it. Right. And then they go figure it out, and then it's now all these guys come home from Vietnam or whatever war, and then they have Agent Orange or whatever it is they have, and oh yeah, no, we can help you, we can treat it, we can't cure it, but you know, we can treat you for that. Meanwhile, but no, as much as, and see, but the great thing about you and I is we may not disagree or on certain things, or don't believe the same things, but we're able to express those thoughts in a way where it's okay. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. But we need to find, and we can find a common ground. Like, right.
Yes.
And that's what the fanatics in DC can't do.
No.
Everybody's got a different line of thinking. Like when I tell people, I'm a Catholic, and then they go, oh, they start looking at me. I'm like, no, I'm not a preachy Catholic.
One of those.
Yeah, right. I got to say that I'm not one of those. You can believe what you want to believe in. I'm not going to try and convert you or bring you over to my side, whatever. That's your thing.
Right.
That whatever works for you. You believe, you don't believe. That's great for you.
Guess what?
This is what works for me.
I believe in God, but I also believe in a choice for a woman to have an abortion if she needs to have
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm a modern day Catholic. I don't know.
Modern Jesus.
I would something because like some churches will not let you get married. Now nowadays, hold on, I'm jumping around. Some Catholic churches will not let you get married if you and your wife lived together before you were married.
So stupid.
Because Kim and I were, when we got married way back when I made that mistake of marriage, we were going to go down to Holy Trinity, but they were, and because we only lived like half a block away from them.
Okay.
But because we lived together, they had an issue marrying us because we were living in sin.
I would have just lied to those fucking baby raping bastards.
I was like, you know what? I don't want to. If I'm going to get married in a church, go in front of God, I don't want my marriage to start out in a lie.
On a lie, yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'm sure there's another. So then we went over to Lourdes, and the priest over there, really cool guy, down to earth, up to the, understands the modern times of people living together, and said, we don't have a problem. We understand that, in this day and age, that's the way things are. We'll have no problem marrying. And he said there are some of those churches that still go under that archaic rule of you have to be separated and this and that, and you can't. And he's like, we understand.
I'd be like, fuck you and your church, father.
That's what I was like, well, fuck you then.
Right. God's on my side. You rape children.
You rape children.
How about the Boy Scouts? They finally figured out that they're a bunch of molesting fuckers.
Oh, they didn't know that before?
Apparently not.
How do you not know?
I know.
Have you ever seen some of these fucking den masters?
The Den Master, the Scout Master.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
The Den Master. I didn't.
You can tell by looking at some of them, like, no, I'm not sending my son to go into the woods and camp with you.
Yeah, no way.
But I don't even think they do that anymore. At least around here, I know they don't. Because when Angel was in the Scouts, they had a sleepover, but it was like in a building, like in a cafeteria somewhere at a school, and they just cleared all the thing, and you put your or no, they do still have summer camp. I'm sorry. No.
Right. So they're still raping kids.
So they're still doing them out in the woods.
Right. But see, that's the fucked up thing. Like, okay, here's the thing about me. Like, I think kids are awesome. I love kids. But you can't say that. You can't say that because it makes you sound creepy. But it's like, I hope I don't look creepy. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I try and let off like a good vibe. Like, don't worry, your kids are safe around me. I'm not a raper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I when I have to express my feelings for kids, I got to think about, and it sucks that I have to think about what I'm going to say.
Right.
Because I don't want people, this guy's driving our bus and our kids to school, and he says he loves children.
Right. And it's like, no, it's like you don't understand. There's no other word that conveys that, really.
Right.
Like, I appreciate kids. Like, what? No, it's just like, I love kids. They're awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't know. They don't know what fucking awful shit they have to live through.
Yeah, they don't know exactly. They have no idea what they're going to inherit.
I know. Oh.
That's what I like about kids is just like the innocence of, especially like the young kid, like the elementary kids on the bus.
Yes.
That I have. The innocence of, I don't know if it's the innocence of them and the naiveness that they don't know yet.
They don't know.
So
right.
they they haven't figured it out. They don't really know what's going on because they're, between fucking 5 and 12.
Right.
Well, the sixth graders pretty much they don't completely understand, but I'm talking like
Right.
the younger kids, like the
Right.
innocence of them. It's priceless.
Right. Like the 5-year-old Carissa compared to the 13-year-old Carissa are two
Yes,
totally different things. Because once you
absolutely.
hit that age, then you start thinking about like girls. Oh, look at that fucking bitch. Oh, look at that. Look at those titties. Look, I mean, it hasn't. There's no way it's changed. No way
No,
it's
no,
changed. It's
no. It's
gotta.
still the same.
Yeah, it's gotta be worse because now you have the phones. I
Right.
shit.
You have
You
phones.
don't
You have camera and video on
right,
phones. Yes.
and nerds are cool now. Like
Yes.
what the fuck?
Yeah, but
I
we're
would
living
have
in a
been
bizarro world.
I would have been getting mad pussy. That's not even funny.
I don't think
Oh,
I still would have.
yeah.
Because still there's no nobody's well yeah no nobody's
No.
into rock music as much, so no, long hair, this look, I still would have been like no. I'd have been, oh, he's a good, like, I like him as a friend, but
Oh my god, I hate
okay,
that.
he's a nice guy, he's a good friend. I'm like, yeah, thanks for your endorsement,
Are you stuck in the friend zone?
but yeah,
Uh, that would be a great commercial with that guy that we thought of
I
back
wish
whenever. Yeah.
we could well, I forgot what I was gonna say. I wish something.
We could technically make fake commercials and put
We
them in
should.
here.
We should. No,
We could
like I don't know. After 20 minutes, throw in a commercial, give us
throw.
a minute break to pee or whatever.
Yeah, Bob's got to
That's a
go
good
and
idea,
take a piss, but we'll be
right?
back right after this. Call the
Because with the screen,
sheriff.
you can
Yeah, I
just
can just
flip the
flip
screen to
flop.
something and let something
Yeah.
play.
Right, I have complete control. Like, actually, this lower part of the bar that we have at the bottom, right? I could
Right.
technically make a video thing in there. I could have you riding by in a school bus. Don't you
Oh
remember
my
when
God,
we
yes,
did that? That would be so funny.
yes, that's right.
You should be riding by with a school bus with a mask on your
With a
face.
mask on. We got to get a hold of your brother. Put this bit together to have him man in the
I
street.
know you really do, because then he could actually be somewhere in the. He could be on another Skype.
Oh, you can get two Skypes in?
I don't see why not.
Well, I figured if we could go, I would go with
Oh,
him,
you
film
just
it,
go film it. Sounds even
and then
better.
yeah, just send you the video.
And then it'd be a
So
piece.
being out in the public, how about yesterday? I almost got in a fucking fight with some jerk off over at Home Depot.
Oh God.
Yeah, wait. So, because I had, like I said, I had some things to do. I had to go pay storage unit bill, and then I had to stop at Aldi's. Kids needed cereal and stuff, and then I had to replace my faucets on my sink in the kitchen.
Okay.
So I did this. We did this a few weeks ago, my brother and I, and we got new lines to go underneath, but we got the wrong lines because we didn't measure. And I knew it. Like as soon as he got them, he was like, "Oh, I didn't measure, but I think these are right." And I'm like, "Well, they're going to be wrong."
Okay.
And he was like, "Yeah, probably." So we got the wrong lines, but we just put the old lines back in, this and that, because I had a leak in that faucet, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go again with the fucking leaks." So we put the new thing on, and I had to return the two lines. So, and I've been sitting on them for a couple weeks, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get down there. Home Depot's still open. Let me return these lines before whatever the date that it expires, and then they break my balls and go, oh no, well, this is over 30 days. We can't accept the return. And I'm like, jerk off. I
Okay.
was fucking stuck at home with this virus thing. Remember?
Yeah.
So I was like, instead of getting my balls broke after, let me just go down and return these two lines.
Okay.
So I'm with the kids. We stop the storage unit, and then again, right down the road, or no, we go to there first, because then it's Home Depot, and then the storage unit, and then off to Aldi's. So I pull into this. Now I have a big truck now. I got a Ford Explorer, so I don't have my little car.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I pull into this spot. It's close by the fucking door. I don't have to. All I'm going in is return this and I'm leaving. I don't really want to walk all over the fucking place. You know, we're not supposed to be out. Just want in and out is what I want to do. Plus, I have my kids, so I just want to protect. So I
Okay.
pull into this parking spot. Now the car on my driver's on the left side to me, he's in his spot, but he's over a little bit. He's not over the line, but he's just over closer to me where he's already parked. Him and his goofy girlfriend are fucking having lunch in the car or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So I pull in and I'm in the middle of my spot. I can't go over anymore because then I'll be fucking the guy on my right side.
Okay.
So I go to get out of my car, open my door, and my door is open like right near his rear view mirror on the outside of the passenger car. And I'm like, all right, I'm trying not to hit the car, touch the car, so I'm trying to squeeze my fat ass out of the fucking big ass truck with the door. The kids are getting out of the back door. Instead of Vinny going out his door, he's got to crawl over and go out Angel's door. And I'm like, guys, don't hit the car because we're pretty close.
Right.
Well, I guess my door literally just tapped his fucking rear view mirror and his car alarm goes off and he starts yelling something in his car about touching his fucking car. And I was like, what? He goes, you just hit my fucking car. I says, no, I didn't. I says, if anything, I just fucking tapped it. Then he gets out of the car like he's a big tough guy. He gets out, starts puffing his chest out. Big tough guy, a bunch of tattoos all over him. Little bit shorter than me. Looks like he was, maybe he works out a little bit. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't fucking hit. I didn't. There's no damage done to you. And he gets out. And he was like, there better not be any fucking damage to my car. I was like, dude, there's nothing fucking here. I said, I'm looking right at it. I said, I was trying my best to get the fuck out. I said, why don't you learn how to park your fucking car? I said, you're over in the goddamn thing, close to the line over here. How the fuck is anybody supposed to get in and out of their car? Who the fuck you think you're talking to? And then he starts walking over. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, here we go in front of my kids. I got to fucking do this. So he walks around the front of the car and I'm like, look for yourself. I said, there's nothing fucking there. And he looks at it. You're fucking lucky. I says, yeah, good. I guess I'll go buy a lottery ticket then. What the fuck did you say? I said, yeah. And I just kept walking with the kids.
Oh my God. And where was this? Price Chopper on Genesee Street?
No, Home Depot.
Oh, Home Depot. Oh.
I was like, fuck this guy.
Oh my God. Of course, you
like
gotta
literally,
find...
I just tapped, like, there was going to be no damage anyway, because literally it just, like, just touched it. Didn't scrape it. I didn't slam the door open. I was trying not to touch the car, but whatever, his sensor must be, his alarm must be really sensitive. And my door touched it. Why now you and your fucking ugly ass girlfriend are shoving food in your mouth. You're sitting in the car. What the fuck is the alarm on for?
Yeah, I don't know.
First of all, because then you never would have known I was touching your car, unless because I was there, he turned it on just to see so he would know if I touched. The guy was an asshole, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude."
Oh my God, you find like a meatheads at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Instead of Mexicans here, you find meatheads.
Right.
Oh,
fucking
by the way, there was a setting on here. Don't you remember last time when I'm like, oh, I can't see how long I've been recording for? Do you remember that? And you're like, it should be right down there. So the thing is, I had to go into the view menu and view a specific thing on the toolbar and have it click.
But you see where it is down at the bottom.
So now I see where it is. It says like, okay, we've been recording for 53 minutes.
Yes. That's what I was saying. Because mine had it on there. I didn't have to select the setting.
Right.
But yeah, what a fucking day yesterday.
My God.
Home Depot. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I'm staying in the house. Because of jerk-offs like this.
My God. Now, do you know what's funny? My Skype, it says, we could not connect your selected camera. Try closing other applications or restarting Skype.
Really?
Yep. So it's got to be something that that messed it up or what have you.
Oh, could be.
So
But
we're
again,
just gonna have to try it out again.
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's all that
And
matters.
right,
But
that's the important part.
once we start playing videos and stuff, that's when I want us to be able to communicate it with each other
right.
somehow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when we get your brother, like I would go film it, and then we would
Right.
have a segment. Like again, instead of like a commercial or something, now it could be like, all right, we're gonna play our man on the street with asking people, do you really need that much toilet paper, or
Oh, right.
whatever wacky thing we're gonna have him interview people for going in and out of stores, in his fucking apocalyptic radiation suit.
Right. His apocalyptic radiation suit.
We can have him, we can play that video and take a break or whatever. But yeah, because I got to think about like we'll have to get together off air and like come up with some questions he can ask people.
Right.
Because I'll just film it on my phone, or if he's got somebody that'll film, whatever. If I can't set up something with him and he's like, oh, my buddy so and so, he'll film it and I'll just do it. Then I'll just give him some questions. We'll come up with some questions, some wacky questions to ask people.
Right.
We could even have him like fake cough in the mask to see if people react to it, like if they back away or something. And
yeah,
because
it would be completely
like somebody
contained.
walking out of Walmart could be, you could ask him, don't you think you should be wearing a mask?
Oh my God.
Just some kind of fucking wacky bit like Howard used to do, or even I think the Tonight Show where somebody used to do that man on the street.
Yeah, man on the street. I think Jimmy Kimmel does it and shit like that.
Everybody, yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I was
think
talking
there's
to my
enough wacky
mom.
people. Oh, that's all right. I think there's enough wacky people that live around here.
Yeah, there probably are. Yeah, you could probably start that.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, it's so funny to not be in the same room.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's convenient because when we can, once all this whatever, and like we could still do. I'll come on. If you want, we'll still do something where we're in the same room. But I like the convenience of it because we could just do it anytime. It's like, hey, you want to do one? Yeah, call me up, and I just got to sit down.
Right.
It's not like I bring the kids. Now I got to worry about what they're doing, and I can just tell them, go in your room and close the door.
Yeah, go in your room, close the door. Get out. Get out of here. You sunset
Get out of
bitches.
here. But I do. I can't wait for this to end. I'm getting, even though the little bit I do get out to the store for whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting the cabin fever. Like, there's
you
only
are?
so much fucking TV you can watch.
Dude,
there's only so much.
I have been self-quarantined for about 2 years now. And so I'm good. I could be the last man on earth.
You'd be the next president.
I know.
Of yourself.
I know. I'd be the president of the Besided States.
Yes. B-sided. I like that. You should use that for an album cover.
Besided States.
Yeah. But it is. It's like I'm hoping, like the bars once they open up, like they have big parties. So I can't.
Right.
I just want to go out and I don't even care if I know, but I'm just gonna talk to just to fucking. It's like if this is what it's gonna be like. Or if this is what it's like when you retire, I understand now why people keep their jobs for as long as they do.
Right.
Because I always said, like, if I retire, I'm like, I don't understand these people that don't want to retire, and you could relax. I'm like, fuck, there's TV, there's the internet, there's all these fucking things you can do. You can go have coffee with an old friend, you can go to breakfast, you can go, retirement. You're not supposed to. And I'm like, if this is what's gonna be like in 2 weeks after I retire, I'm going to be fucking bored out of my I don't know if I want to retire. Like, I might just work till I'm fucking 70 or until the doctor says, nope, You can't work no.
We're taking your work license away.
But I'm thinking, well, by the time I retire, my kids are going to be able. See, now that's the other thing too. Like, I got 2 young kids. When I retire, my kids will be older, so that whole turning into a full-blown alcoholic thing is a very good possibility. There's the travel thing. There's still, TV and stuff. I can sleep, do whatever I want to do. So, I'll probably become a fucking shit bum when I retire.
Oh, my God.
To be honest, I just become that drunken guy who's traveling the country, Facebooking selfies of shit. Like I'll be at the Mount Rushmore picking Lincoln's nose. I'll be that guy. Oh, my God.
No, I could see you, like, tickling Lincoln's balls.
Yeah, trying to put my dick in Washington's mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck, taking a shit on Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
He was on the horse, right? You could leave a shit underneath where the horse's ass is. Like
yes.
It took a fresh doot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's the guy I'll be like, what's wrong with him? Oh, he's retired. No, not retarded. Well, a little bit of that, but he's retired.
Retired, yes.
Nothing else to do.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to have you hear the album.
Yeah, I heard Chris said that you got there's something on YouTube.
Yeah, there are a couple things on YouTube.
You have to send me a link or tell me what I gotta search.
Mm-hmm. You have got to search for Altered Carbons. Carbons.
I'm going to do that now so I can put it in, and then when we get off, Altered Carbons.
Yes. It is brand new. It's stuff I'm working on with a friend of mine from Texas who also has MS. And
Altered Carbons?
Yeah, with an S.
With an S.
You'll see Gas Mask Men or something along those lines. Or
I see. I see Netflix.
It's around. It will be around one of those videos.
Complete season.
I think you could just go to alteredcarbons.com and that should pull up things.
ALT
ERED altered.
Yeah. Yep.
Carbons. CARBONS.com. Yep.
Okay, see 2 guys in a gas masks. Yeah. That's kind of like what I want to put your brother in.
Yes, I see that. The Altered Carbons is not us, though, if you know what I'm saying. It's a mysterious band.
I gotcha. Okay, I saw this one on YouTube out of this box.
Okay.
And what's the other one?
Actually, if you click on that YouTube thing and then click on the title of it up top in the left-hand corner of the video, it'll bring you right to YouTube, and then you can see our page and click on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, you got to play that. I want to see if I can hear it.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me turn my speakers on. Do you want me to take the headphones off?
No, leave the headphones.
It's coming out of the computer speakers.
Okay, I hear that out of the computer speakers, but that's it. That's fucked up. Yeah, so that's the stuff you need to check out if you saw out of this box. But there's a whole thing. There's a whole album coming out where we're just kind of putting the finishing touches on it. And shit. Good. And then all this shit happened. So.
You said like around summer though, right?
That's what I'm hoping for. Well, that's what we're hoping for, actually.
Now it would have been out before?
No.
But all this shit happened?
No.
Summer was still that was the goal.
Summer was still kind of the goal, I think. Okay. But then all this shit happened, and it's funny.
I know. It is. It's fucking.
What's funny is
Like I
Well,
say, when I say it's fucking ridiculous, I mean in the sense of how it's being dealt with.
right, right. Well,
Not that,
what's funny is, and what's actually fucked up is, I sit down and I've been listening to the shit that we've done, dude. It is like so weird how it reflects like things that are going on, and you'd think that we were talking about it, but what we've been talking about, there's things that have been written. We've been doing this for like over a year, putting things together, and
really.
it just mimics like shit that's because it's a concept album.
Right.
It really is meant to be listened from track one to the end. That's how it's meant to be listened to. People aren't
Nice.
coming out with shit like that anymore.
No.
You know?
No, the concept album has kind of lost its.
Right. And I think people are ready for that. Especially the kids of today. Like the
Right.
younger kids, like kids that get in, dude, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like fucking uh Biggie meets Nine Inch Nails meets Pink Floyd,
Really.
something like that. Yes,
Biggie.
yes.
See, now that's a collaboration I would. Biggie and 9 Inch Nails. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. Because it's kind of like it's alternative, like grungy, like like electronic, but it's not. I guess it's just it's really experimental. But there's rapping, there's singing. I played it for I played some shit for my buddy, and he's like, "Who's the drummer?" That's how good it sounds. That's
So it's
how
like
good it sounds.
what is that? Linkin Park, where it's
I
kind of
guess
there's
maybe.
rappy and rocky.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but it's more trippy. I don't know.
Trippy.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Do I have to
It's
be stoned or something to listen to
no,
this?
no, not at all.
To
Not at all.
understand?
No, no, no. It
Well, I mean,
should
it's fine because I got time before I go back to work. I might as well.
right. Well, it should make sense on a normal brain because it's like it really is a story. It's so
Okay.
funny how it goes.
Now, is this the beginning part of the story? This
Out of
out
this
of this
box
box?
would be the beginning of the story, and we
Okay.
are trying to make videos for every song, so then you'd be able
Oh,
to
good.
put it together as like a full thing. But it out of this box is like kind of how it's gonna start. It's just a guy getting out of his comfort zone, and then that's where it goes, and
Okay.
it's just crazy. Like the journey that this guy went on is so crazy, and I'm not used to writing like that. I'm used to writing from my perspective, or
Okay.
I'm not used to writing about somebody else. I'm not used to being somebody else. I'm always like kind of being me, I guess, like toned up. I've never been some character. I've never done that.
That's cool though.
Yeah, because it has a total constant theme throughout.
Looks
Um,
like you got a bunch of listens.
yeah, we got some listens on it. We haven't really been doing much kind of promotion because it just we're trying to get everything together first. Wait till you hear it. When you hear it, you'll be like, "Holy shit, that's
Yeah, I'm gonna
crazy!"
listen to it when we get off.
Yeah, I'm actually about ready to call it because I smell dinner and
Oh,
yeah,
holy shit! Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. I gotta figure out what to eat.
yes, right.
I might order
So
out
hell yeah, this
something.
this is that. Holy shit, we fucking gone for an hour.
We did.
That's fucking great. Well,
See,
and leave fucking.
coronavirus shows. It creates shows and conversation,
I
and
know now the
there,
coronavirus is creating conversation.
there's so much because it's talked about so much, and there's so much that's gonna go on
I know.
Still, and then you got the aftermath of it. Like, how are we going to be afterward?
Yes. Yes. Oh my
So
God!
yeah, hours will fly.
You know the Eric Bischoff book, Controversy Creates Cash?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of that? Well,
Yes.
Corona creates cash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the fucking toilet paper business.
I know, right? So you can't hear the theme?
No.
No. Well, the theme is playing right now. So
okay.
And we're still being heard. So
I'm just playing loud.
It's playing all right. It's not just loud.
Tell everybody, check us out on YouTube, BM Talk with Marc and Bob. That's Marc with a C. You can see old shows. You can check out this show and shows to come. Like I said, old shows. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the bottom.
I know. All right, everybody. Peace the fuck out.
Stay safe, stay sanitary.
They turn the freaking frogs gay.